students. So in this video I am going to explain absorption of digested food. It means we know after complete the mechanism of digestion, digested food. So digested food is nothing but what here? Nutrients. So nutrients are how we can absorb. That is the absorption of digested food. So what are the process in that absorption, like active transport and passive transport. So before going to explain that absorption of digested food, so another short topic in this unit, that is peristalsis. So what is peristalsis? So peristalsis is nothing but it is one type of successive waves like movement. So where it is occur and what are the significance of peristalsis movements means, we know that food material passes from one part of the alimentary canals to the other part of the alimentary canal during physiology of digestion, like from esophagus to stomach to small intestine to large intestine, like that. So here how the food material is processed from one part of the alimentary canals to the another part of the alimentary canal means by the process of peristalsis movement. So peristalsis movement is nothing but it is one type of successive waves like movement. So how it is possible means the walls of the alimentary canal, here possesses the which type of muscles means like smooth muscles. So when the smooth muscles are undergoes contraction and relaxation, so here they produces peristalsis movement. It means peristalsis movement is caused by the contraction and relaxation of smooth muscles which are lying at the walls of the alimentary canal. So what are the significance of peristalsis movement means? So during that peristalsis movement, the food material passes or the propulsion from one part of the alimentary canals to the another part of the alimentary canal. And another important significance of peristalsis movement, efficient enzymatic actions also occur. So that is the very important significance of peristalsis movement. So what are the significance of peristalsis movement means? Food material passes from one part of the alimentary canals to the another part of the alimentary canal. And another important significant, effective enzymatic actions. So food material is effectively react with enzymes. So it is caused by the peristalsis movement. So peristalsis movement is initiated from our esophagus and continuation up to rectum. And in some places rate of the peristalsis movement is very fast, and in some places rate of the peristalsis movement is very slow. But in particularly in our stomach, so here rate of peristalsis movement is very fast, like churning movement. So due to that fast, here the mechanical digestion also occur. It leads to mechanical digestion. It means peristalsis movement in some places may be fast or in some places may be slow. So in our stomach, rate of peristalsis movement is very fast, like churning movement. So like mechanical digestion is occur. But in case of intestine, here the rate of peristalsis movement is very slow. Clear? Right. Then next, here the peristalsis movement, rate of the peristalsis movement is very fast, particularly which part of the alimentary canal? Stomach. So it is regulated by the which type of nervous system? That is parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system. It means Parasympathetic nervous system increase the rate of peristalsis movement as well as the relaxation of sphincters. Relaxes of sphincters which made up of smooth muscles. And we know sphincters are present between the two parts of the alimentary canal. So it is about a peristalsis movement. Then next, absorption of digested food. So digested food is nothing but we can call it as what? Nutrients. Okay now. So how the digested food from our small intestine to reach to the blood or reached into the blood through intestinal mucosa. So here mainly by the process of active and passive transport mechanism. Active and passive transport mechanism. Okay. So absorption of digested food. Absorption of digested food is nothing but here once again digested food is nothing but what? Nutrients. Nutrients. So nutrients which are present in our small intestine, how they are reached into the blood through intestinal mucosa. So here by the process of active transport mechanism or by the process of passive transport mechanism. It means few substances. We know what are the nutrients like glucose, galactose, fructose, okay na, amino acids, fatty acids, glycerol, etc. So these are all the micromolecules or the digested food or nutrients. So few substances are reached into the blood by the process of active or the few are by the process of passive, like that. So here particularly what are the digested food means we know, like glucose, okay na, fructose, amino acids, electrolytes, okay na, water molecules, etc. So these are all the nutrients. So here glucose, galactose, amino acids, few are the reached to the blood by the process of active transport mechanism or by the process of passive transport mechanisms. So particularly here the monosaccharides, glucose, galactose and the amino acids are, first of all they reach to our intestinal mucosa by the process of secondary active transport mechanism, and from intestinal mucosa to blood by the process of fasciculated diffusion. So fasciculated diffusion is nothing but what? Here the transport of substances from higher solute concentration to lower solute concentration with the help of carrier proteins. Such type of transport mechanism is known as fasciculated diffusion. Okay, so right. So glucose, galactose, amino acids, so few are the sodium ions transported or reached to the intestinal mucosa by the process of active transport mechanism, and from intestinal mucosa into the blood by the process of passive transport mechanism. It means, how can we define the active transport mechanism? Active transport mechanism is nothing but what? Here the flow of substances, ions or the molecules from lower concentration to higher concentration. Active transport is nothing but what? Here the movement of substances, ions, molecules from lower concentration to higher concentration. Such type of transport mechanism is known as active. Here lower to higher. Again primary active transport mechanism and secondary active transport mechanism. So in this type of mechanism, it is not ordinary type of mechanism. Why? Because means here the energy and enzymes are required. Here energy and enzymes are required. So it is against to concentration gradient. Okay, now active transport mechanism is against to concentration gradient. So movement of substances from lower concentration to higher concentration, and here the requirement of what? Energy as well as the enzymes. Then passive transport mechanism is what? That is quite opposite to the active. Here this flow of substances from higher concentration to lower concentration. Here there is no requirement of energy. Okay na? So it is concentration gradient. Passive transport is concentration gradient and active transport is against concentration gradient. Here energy is required. So here that does not required. So the differences between these two, active and passive transport. It means few nutrients are reached into the blood by the process of active transport mechanism and by the process of passive, and the few are like facilitated diffusion also. Facilitated diffusion is nothing but what? One type of passive transport mechanism, but in this case carrier proteins are mainly helps, like and water also absorbed. So water is absorbed by the process of osmosis, and the glucose, galactose, amino acids reach to the intestinal mucosa by the process of secondary active transport mechanism, and from intestinal mucosa into the blood by the process of facilitated diffusion. Okay, and the water can be absorbed by the process of osmosis. So these are the different types of transport mechanisms. Clear? And fructose is also absorbed by the process of facilitated diffusion. Then next, so here we know in our alimentary canal which part most of the nutrients can be absorbed, means like a small intestine. So here 90% of the digested food absorbed in our small intestine. But not only small intestine act as a absorbed part, but also mouth, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. Large intestine. It means, so these four parts absorb the different types of nutrients, but the main principal source of absorption of digested food, that is small intestine. So in our small intestine 90% of the nutrients here absorbed. Remember students, 90% of the nutrients here absorbed. But here mouth and stomach, large intestine also absorb the different types of nutrients. Particularly here mouth can be absorbed like what? Drugs. Okay na? So if any drugs are present in our food material, it mixed with that saliva as well as the mucus and reach to the blood capillaries which are present below the tongue region. It means mouth can be absorbed the what? Drugs material, and stomach here water molecules and simple sugars as well as the drugs. So your mouth absorb the drugs and stomach water molecules, simple sugars as well as the drugs. So these are the products absorbed by the stomach. And here we know small intestine, very important part. Here the 90% of the nutrients are absorbed like in the form of glucose, monosaccharides, fructose, galactose and amino acids and fatty acids, glycerol, etc. And here also like water molecules, minerals and drugs. So water molecules, minerals, drugs are absorbed by the large intestine. So here most of the nutrients are absorbed by the process of active and passive transport mechanism. But what about fat substances? So fatty acids and glycerols are insoluble in water, which are not absorbed into the blood. So before going to absorption of fatty acids and glycerols, it is very, very important. So fatty acids and glycerols are insoluble in water, so not easily absorbed into the blood. So here, so before absorption of these two products, they may be converted into small particles. We can call it as micelles. Okay, now micelles by the process of emulsification, and these micelles are raised to the walls of the intestinal mucosa, and here these micelles are converted into like protein coated fat globules, call it as chylomicrons. Chylomicrons. And these chylomicrons are broken down into fatty acids plus glycerols in the presence of lipases enzymes, and these fatty acids and glycerols are reached to the adipocytes of the adipocyte tissues. Adipocytes of adipocyte tissues. It means here we have to observe, except fatty acids, except lipids, remaining nutrients can be absorbed by the process of active and passive transport mechanism. But in case of lipids, not directly absorbed. Why? Because means they are insoluble in water. Okay. So before absorption of these products, they may be converted into micelles. Okay, and these micelles are transformed into protein coated fat globules. We can call it as chylomicrons, and these chylomicrons are broken down into fatty acids and glycerol in the presence of lipases. After that, they are reached to the adipocytes of adipocytes tissues, adipocytes of adipose tissues. Clear? Then next, after absorption of the digested food, so these absorbed products, we can call it as nutrients. So these nutrients are mainly useful for the production of energy. So this process is known as what? Assimilation. Okay, now assimilation. Assimilation is nothing but what? So digested food which is reached to the tissues, so it is useful for the production of energy. Okay, now, and this energy mainly helps to do various kinds of physiological activities. So this process is known as what? Assimilation. Assimilation. Okay, right. Then next, undigested food material, so which is present in our small intestine, it will be reached to our large intestine, and from there reached to our rectum, and here temporarily stored, and finally sent outside by the process of excretion. So this this phenomenon is nothing but what? Defecation. So here absorption of digested food and assimilation and defecation. Defecation is nothing but what? The removal of the waste products from our body. So that is defecation. So it is about absorption of digested food. So in this topic you have to remember the mechanisms like active transport mechanism and passive transport mechanisms. Clear? Okay. Thank you, students.